I understand to some people like $100 isn't a lot, but that's $100, man. Like I'm broke. Okay, I got podcast money and that's it. Like, we're not millionaires over here.
Lobbing Scorchers went to the Ballard FC semifinal, League Two playoffs semifinal matchup against the Flint City Bucks at Interbay on Sunday evening, which they took the dub. They're going to the Natty. They're going to Burlington, Daleton, Vermont.
Burlington, some rinky-dink town,
city in Vermont.
Yeah, no one's
They're going to it to play the Vermont Green in the Natty, which we do have a friendly wager with our friends at Soccer Wise on that. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote about it actually on my Ship's Log newsletter for Sounder at Heart, and we wanted to talk about it more on the show. Just about the League Two match day experience that Ballard FC has going on at Interbay Stadium. Outside of the fact that the team that they've put together seems pretty dominant every year, using these UW Seattle U college players who are trying to make it,
and some walk-ons and stuff. They were saying that there's some people who just literally will show up to tryouts and like, yeah, I used to play for the first division back in my home country, and they're beasts. Like, it's awesome.
And the team is really good in League Two. This year they were first place easily. I was looking at their goal differential, and it was like 36-5 or something crazy like that. So it's good footy, but also I think what you wanted to focus on was more just the game day experience that I also.
Well, let's hit the game too here, because it was a fun match.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Flint City Bucks scored first, so Ballard FC had to come back in the second half to win this Natty, or to go to this Natty. Hopefully they win the Natty. 2 second half goals, 2-1 finish. And there was like drama and theatrics that went with it because of the come from behind nature of the result, for sure.
My favorite was the Flint City Bucks coach. I don't know how he was still on the field by the end of the match. Legitimately, like, think of like toddler tantrum, but like running up and down the touchline, like slamming his feet, stomping up and down, screaming at the fourth official. I'm not even exactly sure what he was so aggrieved about, but it was
kind of hard to tell from where we were. We were on the field in the photog section for a portion of it, then in the beer garden for the second portion of it. The photog section, you could get a pretty good view of all the action, but from where I was at least in the beer garden, you couldn't really see what was going on one end of the field. But I mean, the game itself, yeah, that was like whenever they score at Interbay, it goes crazy. There's like 2K people there.
They sold out tickets completely. Like they literally had no walk-up tickets. They weren't letting anyone else in. Like there was someone who walked up behind us to try and buy a ticket, and the guy was like, yeah, dude, we're sold out, but I actually have one extra ticket that's just like my personal ticket in my like season tickets, and you can have it. So it's like that, like it was actually, people were really stoked to be there, and it was popping. It was popping there.
And they're all popping. I've been to a handful of these before this, and I don't think they have 2K at every single home game, but I feel like 1,000 to 1,500 people is pretty commonplace for a Ballard FC home game. So it's definitely, I don't know about the match day experiences or attendance or anything like that across League Two, but I got to imagine that Ballard is up there in terms of the support they're able to pull at their home games week in, week out during these seasons.
No, I mean, I couldn't imagine another club doing that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Vermont.
There's so many teams. There's so many teams. I bet there's
and they play a lot of midweek games. And they play like, it's a very short season. It's like 2 months long. So, it's a summer thing. It's a fun summer thing to do. But along with that, I guess we can jump into the atmosphere here, because I feel like every single time we could be like pleasantly surprised about like a game day experience, we were. Like, I don't know. Do you want to take it away and like what you thought first, and then I can kind of give my take after that?
Well, I just first of all, I love the whole vibe they have going with. It's basically like a more festival type atmosphere than I've ever seen at a sporting event. They have your like generic concession stand where you can get Seattle dogs and candy and stuff, but they have really good food trucks set up like outside the beer garden, so you can get really good, like restaurant quality food. You got these stir fry noodles that were
Oh yeah, those were so good.
hella
dude.
good. But the thing that always blows my mind at a Ballard FC game is just how reasonably priced everything is. I got my
Yes.
Seattle dog and a bottle of water and a Snickers for $7.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
I as I wrote in my Sounder at Heart article about it, like that exact same purchase at Lumen Field for whatever event that you might be at there would put you into financial ruin for multiple weeks. So it's just a weird feeling, like being at a concession stand and then being like, that'll be $7.
Yeah.
What?
What? Are you sure?
Not 27 for one beer? What?
Do you want to check that? Do you want to make sure you put that in correctly? Because I'm not sure you did. I literally, at the Club World Cup in the media lounge, like not the media lounge, but just like the media cafeteria, because they were charging for food. I spent like $40 on one meal, and it was literally like one little boat of butter chicken. And so like I was amazed. I got
it's just a weird
noodles.
feeling not being gouged.
Like, I got the stir fry noodles, which was like packed with chicken, all of that from a food truck too, for like $14. Got beer, got waters, all of that, and I literally didn't spend more than $30 total. Yeah, that's crazy. And I like, why are we not doing that everywhere?
Not getting gouged was such like it positively enhanced the experience to such a degree. I always think like, wow, any MLS club could just it's such free goodwill to be like, you know what, we're gonna be the team that you go to the game and like you can get your chicken strips or whatever for like $8 instead of $48.
18, yeah. Well, it's crazy too, because you go there expecting to spend a lot of money, you're surprised by how cheap it is, and you're still spending that much money anyway. And it's like, and it's usually I don't know, for me at least, I was like, okay, I spent nothing on food, so I'm gonna go buy some merch. I got some shorts because I needed some new soccer shorts anyway, and it was like 3 pairs for $30. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll take some soccer shorts for that. You got a shirt for like, it was 10 like, yeah, and it's like, dude, that's what it's about. Like, not to be all soccer wise, or it's not soccer wise, all happy foot sad foot about it, but it's like they're growing the game, man. They're growing the game neighborhood by neighborhood by just bringing people in. You see so many more families there too, is what I noticed.
Yeah, no, and we do have a bet with Soccer Wise on this natty. If Vermont Green win, right, we send them 2 bottles of the Lobbing Scorchers hot sauce, LobbingScorchers.com.
And we have to publicly denounce the color green.
Oh yeah, there was an added condition.
Yeah, so, and I think maybe wear a swim cap. If you haven't seen the video, David Goss is wearing a swim cap. So I'm not sure if we're required to wear the swim cap, but I feel like it's in homage to him. We should probably wear the swim cap as well.
And then if Ballard wins, we get Soccer Wise merch, right?
Soccer Wise merch, and they're gonna make us a custom hot sauce from Vermont.
Oh wow! See, I missed these amended conditions.
This is what I'm telling you guys. Ari doesn't even watch the content that we're in. To be fair, I literally just made up this wager and tagged David, and Tom Bogert wasn't a part of it really either. So Tom and Ari are just kind of on the periphery here, but they're involved.
I mean, I'll adhere to whatever wager it may be, and I know that we're both going to be locked in on that natty, League 2 natty. Ballard FC won it 2 years ago,
2023.
So they're looking to add their second. That's kind of an idea of the on-field success that they've been able to put together. They're already playing for their second natty. So yeah, good team.
Well, I have 2 questions here, and then we could wrap up the Ballard FC discussion. And it's the first one is about the atmosphere, and it's how can the Sounders just in general take that community atmosphere, maybe that festival atmosphere, from a club like Ballard, maybe just even being affordable, and bring it into a large stadium setting, bring it into MLS. I feel like I've been to a lot of sporting events. I haven't left feeling so happy and chill and like excited in a long time. Like I genuinely, like, I don't know. I've paid for Sounders tickets. I've been in the press box. I've done all of that stuff. And it's like, I love this team more than anything, but I've never gone there and been like, hell yeah, that was like a well-rounded experience. That felt awesome. I felt like I was a part of the community. I felt like it was all just beautiful. I don't know. Like, I haven't felt that in a long time. So like, how do you think that, what should the Sounders take from Ballard basically?
I seriously think that it's largely as simple as just making it an experience that's affordable and accessible to the average layperson. So you can go to these games and not like feel anxiety, like this overarching anxiety that's always in the back of your mind of like, oh man, should I drop $58 on concessions? You know, I already paid like
$58 in fees.
Yeah, like just everything is just so marked up. Like I think that's such a drag, man. Like it negatively affects the experience. I'm sure there's other stuff too. Like I think the whole festival vibe of having the food trucks like right there in the if they made the concourses kind of more like that. I don't know if that would step on the toes of the Lumen concessions or if that's, but you know, they have the Seattle dog stands all outside, like the in that alley there. So I don't know, maybe bringing some sort of that type of atmosphere to the concourse could be another way. But to me, a lot of it just comes down to affordability and accessibility, which when like tickets, whether it's season tickets or match day tickets or whatever, are just getting more and more expensive every year. And then you throw like how expensive everything is inside the stadium as well. It's a drag. And if they just fix that, it would, and not just, this isn't just Seattle. This is like any pro sports team. If you just made a decision to be like, we're going to try and make our pricing more reflective of the common person who can come to these games and afford it, it would create so much goodwill, first of all, and also improve the experience for anybody. They would never do any of this.
Never.
By the way, obviously. But, you know, in a hypothetical universe where common sense prevails on a topic like that, it would improve the fan experience so much. I seriously think that's such a massive part of it.
No, I agree. Like literally, I mean, I canceled my season tickets because they went up like 10% one season over season. What are we talking about? That's ridiculous. Like I understand to some people like $100 isn't a lot, but that's $100, man. Like I'm broke. Okay. I got podcast money and that's it. Like, you know, we're not millionaires over here. And it does seem like in the last, like, I don't know, 5 seasons, they've catered towards the higher spending clientele instead of actually focusing on bringing people in at the bottom dollar and making it affordable. And I also do feel for the Sounders in the sense that like they don't control the building that they're in any way. They don't really set the concession prices. They're not able to like operate any of that stuff. They can't operate the parking. They can't operate, like they are a tenant in a building controlled by a spiteful, horrible group called First and Goal. We hate them. We do. But I mean, there's got to be some way to kind of figure that out. And I think that there's definitely been attempts, like the first match free thing has been awesome to get people in the door. But yeah, dude, like if you go to a sports game, you want to buy a beer and you want to buy a chicken strip, a hot dog, something like that. And the fact that to do that, to go to the game as well, the minimum I don't listen, I love going into ECS, it's its own thing, but like the average person does not want to sit there. So the fact that like the minimum you're spending is basically $50 a ticket to have a seat where you can sit. Okay. I understand people like to stand, but there's the casual fan might want to sit for a soccer game. Okay. If you want that, you got to pay $50+. You have to then pay another, it's like $18 for a shitty beer. That's crazy. And then another $18 for a chicken strip. And like, God forbid you go with your family. There's no way, dude. That's like a $500 outing. Yeah. How can you imagine like that? That doesn't make any sense. We were at this Ballard game, kids everywhere. I mean, just like full families, because you can get in the door. I'm sure it was, I think there was like $15 for standing room only, $20 for a seat. And then there was some other tiers, obviously, where they have like a pitch side seats and like all of that kind of stuff. But it's like you can get in the door with your kids and buy concessions, and it's like $150 outing. And it's an awesome atmosphere. You get to experience something. It's beautiful out, all of this kind of stuff. And I don't know, that brings me to my next question, Ari. Is a club like Ballard and an experience like USL League 2 truly the future of growing the game in America to an audience who would probably not normally choose to consume soccer as their first sport? Because we all know that youth soccer is huge in America. It is like, I'm pretty sure it's the most played youth sport in America. So kids, they're playing it, they love it, they enjoy it, but they're not really able to access it on a professional level affordably. Like you're not going to take your 5 and 10-year-old to go to a Sounders game, like I just said, because you're spending $500, but you'll take them to a Ballard game because you'll spend $100.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it through that lens, but I think that is a role that League Two clubs can lean into and market and play a role in more than you might think, as far as laying the foundation for exposing the game to people who might not otherwise get a chance to, for affordability reasons, which that is feels like always a prominent issue when it comes to youth soccer. So if these clubs lean into that, and remember our interview with Corey Hinthorn, West Seattle Junction, stuff like that is what he was talking about as the role of that club in that community, as much perhaps as even the results on the field. So I think like they already play some of that role, as we kind of saw at that game, but leaning into that aspect of it and promoting that aspect of it more and more, I think that not only helps a League Two club grow, but like you said, helps lay the foundation for growing the game as a whole.
I love it. I love it. It was fun. And go Ballard, soccer-wise boys, you're a bunch of chumps. The East Coast sucks. Vermont, who's ever like,
I've never been. It might be cool.
Like it's probably cool or whatever, but like, come on, like we're really gonna.
I think Burlington is like widely considered cool, but I'm not gonna adhere to that. It's not cool.
Okay, like they gave us Bernie Sanders and stuff. Like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, like one of the greatest politicians of our generation. Cool, whatever, man. And the past 7 generations, because he's super old. Okay, whatever, man. Like, all right, Vermont. Whatever.
Up the bridges.
Up the bridges.
If you have any additional thoughts on ways that the Seattle Sounders or any MLS club could improve the fan experience in the ways that we're discussing.